What's up, y'all? It's your boy Winston Wolf. I want to do a review about a movie that I had the privilege of watching last night, and it is called Light of My Life. It is written and directed by Casey Affleck. I'm just gonna go off the top of the dome. This was a great film. I can't imagine anybody having anything negative to say about it unless, you think Fast and the Furious is the pinnacle of film. If you appreciate art, if you appreciate heart, uh, in stories about, I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out the words to, put about this movie. It's just, there's two movies that I've placed this movie Light of My Life in along with, and that's Cloud Atlas and Million Dollar Baby. I've only seen those two movies one time each because they, to me, are what films should be. They're the best of film, and I don't want to keep rewatching those movies and have that effect get wore off. Cloud Atlas and Million Dollar Baby are just special films. And I'm waiting for the perfect time to rewatch those. And it hasn't happened yet. I think I saw Million Dollar Baby over 10 years ago. Still haven't watched it again, but to me, that is the perfect film. It's not my favorite film, but it is, to me, the best made film I've ever seen. Cloud Atlas, of course, is just it's a huge, piece of art. But this movie, Light of My Life, again, written and directed by Casey Affleck. Wow, man, I'm like at a loss for words with this. I think this is just a very special film. I think just like Cloud Atlas and Million Dollar Baby, everybody should see it. Let me just get into the story a little bit. Basically, there's a pandemic that wipes out most of the female population of the world. And right as the pandemic is hitting, Casey Affleck, his wife, played by Elizabeth Moss, who of course she's barely in it. She's in it for flashes, like little flashbacks to, let you kind of know what's going on without having somebody just, spit the story for you and spoon feed you the story. You piece it together through the flashbacks of, the pandemic and everything of what happened and the timeline. But she gives birth to a baby daughter right as this is hitting the world, and she's passing away, and she leaves Casey Affleck with this baby girl. So fast forward about 10 years later, and society, it's not completely falling apart. They still have electricity, water, but obviously if most of the women are wiped out there, it's not a good situation. It's not and I just want to point out, this isn't an anti-man film. Okay, this is just, come on, let's be real. If all the women disappeared, it would be a fucking shit show. But anyways, so it's basically, it's almost like the bookend, the flip side of the movie The Road, which I love. Where it is, I love these lone wolf and cub journey movies, these movies of survival, with a father and son. But this is a father and a young daughter. And they're just kind of moving. They're trying to find safe places because, again, he has a young daughter. She's 11, 12. So it's just not safe because there's just evil people and there's a severe shortage of women. And throughout the movie, he hears about there are women, but they, there's certain communities and stuff where they keep them locked up and they, obviously are, abusing them, using them for their own sick purposes, whatever. So they're on a journey just to try to find, Casey Affleck just wants his daughter to survive. So they stay in the woods a lot. Again, the way it looks, aesthetically, looks like The Road. There's a lot of parallels to The Road. But again, the whole dynamic is different because it's a father protecting a daughter. But the thing that makes this special is Casey Affleck, his character, who just goes by the name Dad, and his daughter, her name is Rag, which is short for Raggedy Ann. He cuts her hair short because he wants, if anybody comes across them, he doesn't want them to know that she's a girl. He wants everyone to believe she's a little boy, so that obviously she won't get kidnapped, abused, whatever. But what he does throughout the movie, he hasn't lost hope, and he wants to raise her to also have hope. He wants her to be educated. He wants her to learn about life. He's trying to raise her as if, nothing had happened. I mean, they're still cautious about things, but he doesn't want her to, I guess, mentally as a person be broken by this whole thing, because I think in his mind he thinks that, because she exists, because other women exist, eventually there's going to be kind of a rebirth of this female population, and the world will get back to the way it should be. And he just doesn't want her damaged. It's kind of hard to explain in words. You have to see it. But goddamn, Casey Affleck's performance and the way he interacts with this girl who plays his daughter, the two characters, it is so good. It's something you've never, at least I've never seen it before on film. I think their relationship is great because there's all this evil world around them, and she's special. She's one of the few females left in the world, and just the way he's trying to raise her throughout all this stuff, and they're on the run, they're on the road all the time, they're camping out in the woods, there's constant danger, and it is a beautiful, beautiful film. Obviously you have action scenes where people try to take her, they encounter a lot of evil people, a lot of hardships, but to me, that's kind of just the icing on the cake. It's the relationship and the way both characters are growing throughout it. I have seen movies with relationships with fathers and daughters, and we've all seen. This is probably the best. I don't have any pups of my own. But man, if you have kids, because this really spoke to me. So if you have a daughter or just any kids, I think this will definitely probably hit you harder. But man, this is a really, really, really beautiful film. I just don't know what to say, but I'm still thinking about it. I think Casey Affleck, after this, I'm just fucking, I cannot wait. He wrote and directed this. I want to see what he does next. Everyone's talking about Joaquin Phoenix, about his performance in The Joker, which I haven't seen yet. Most people haven't, but they're talking about Oscar. Casey, somebody needs to start talking about Casey Affleck this Oscar season, because he wrote, directed, and starred in this. He is fucking amazing in this. Elizabeth Moss, again, she's in it. She's always amazing, but she's just in it for some flashbacks. But goddamn, those flashbacks are effective. There's one specific flashback where she's dying and she's telling him things that she wants him to say to the daughter. She's like, tell her I wish I could have been her mother. And man, for not even a minute, for 30 seconds, you'd see a couple little, maybe 20-30 seconds of that scene that they show a couple times, and they do so much with this, man. Casey Affleck, God, man, people talk about Ben Affleck I never thought Ben Affleck's directing was anything for me to, do a backflip over, but this is a top-notch film right here. This is a very special film. Again, if anybody has anything bad to say about it, I think it would just be the pacing, but that just depends on your taste. I really appreciated the pacing of this. because it gets you so much into the characters, and you care. I have never in a movie rooted for people to survive and, for lack of a better term, win before, as I have for these two in a film. And that's saying something, because I've been totally invested in lots of characters, in lots of films, lots of TV shows. And for me to say that about this, personally, I was shocked and impressed that I cared so much about these characters. But I don't really want to get into it. Because you can't, again, it's like trying to explain Cloud Atlas to somebody, or trying to explain why Million Dollar Baby is so effective. You just have to see these films. You have to experience it. And I think Light of My Life is just a great, great, great film. I don't know if I'm going to see anything better than that this year. And that's not a bad thing. I just think the standard that this, for me, is so high that I just can't imagine anything being more satisfying to me. But if you get a chance to check out Light of My Life, I'm probably forgetting some things I want to talk about, but as far as that movie goes. But all I can say is, man, do yourself a favor, sit down and watch it. Don't have any distractions, and just enjoy it. This is a great, great, great film. I hope it gets the awards it deserves. I hope it gets the audience it deserves. I hope it gets the attention it deserves. And man, that's all I can say about it right now. I just think it's a great, great film. Give it a shot if you have the chance. If you have the opportunity, go out of your way. But yeah, man, this Light of My Life, Casey Affleck, I give it more than 5 dog bones. I give it 10 dog bones. If this doesn't win any Oscars or anything, the world is worse than I thought. But Light of My Life is a classic special film. I hope you go seek it out. Watch it, love it, enjoy it. And this is Winston Wolf, and I will see you guys later.